It's Technique Tuesday, and we're just going to take a little pause here and consider just for a couple of minutes why it is so important to learn the basics of vocal technique. There are lots of people who enjoy singing, who belong to choirs and ensembles and belong to amateur dramatics and musical societies, who sing their songs without a thought about their vocal technique. And of course, that's absolutely fine, but just for some people, that's not quite enough. And the reason being is that very often singers, especially ones that I've taught at any rate, often have a deep sort of misgiving about the sound that they make. They are unsure as to the quality, say. And that in itself can do a lot to hold back the sound that you can ultimately really craft to make. So whilst it's good practice to learn about vocal technique so that you know the basics of how the voice works, what you're doing, when things go wrong, why they go wrong, it's really good to, if you're serious about your singing, if it means a lot to you, it's really good to be curious about what learning about vocal technique, just the basics, can do in terms of uncovering your true voice. Yeah, your true voice. And I would suggest that sometimes we all need to stop and think about whether or not we like our true voice, and whether or not when we sing, are we attempting to maybe emulate a sound that we think other people might like, whereas it's a much safer option in terms of the longevity of your voice, looking after your instrument. It's a much better goal to have in mind, to learn the basics about how you literally play your voice, just like you would learn to play an instrument. You would never expect to be able to pick up that instrument, say a flute or a clarinet, and be able to play it really well from the get-go. Same with the voice. You have to learn those inner feelings, those muscle memories, the things that work well and also the things that don't work well, because our instrument ages with us. And that's one of my major interests in teaching people how to sing, how to find their voice. It's actually giving them the skills to look after the instrument that they've been given. So on Technique Tuesday, that's just another little take on why it is so important to understand those basic principles of good vocal technique, how you make your sound, and maybe with just a little kind of suggestion that maybe learning those basics, those vocal technique basics, will also lead to you uncovering a voice that you did not know you had.